Okay, so Engage, primarily in rugby, we produce Total Rugby on behalf of the IRB, which is a half-hour weekly programme, magazine programme, distributed to, I think, 200 countries around the world, 21 broadcast networks. It's a very international show. It's there to promote the game of rugby. It's got weekly features on what's happened in the world of rugby. It includes archive. Includes some fantastic little formats that involve the players. We also supply a lot of that footage to the IRB website and the YouTube site. So it really is a cross-platform proposition. Very popular. Great feedback from the local unions that have been through the door this week. And I think one sort of observation of the last couple of days is that the unions seem to want to work as a collective by region and get the most out of Total Rugby, because we have access to a huge archive. We have something like 600 clips of content from the IRB archive, which can be refreshed, brought back to life with a new layer of content over the top. So we're focusing with Murray and his team on that in preparation to the 2015 World Cup and all the events leading up to that. So it's one of our marquee products, Total Rugby, very proud of it. And I know the IRB like it too, so we go from strength to strength on that product.
And in looking forward, you mentioned the 2015 IRB World Cup, and then the following year, Sevens is included in Rio 2016 Olympics. Do you think you're going to see an uptake or an interest, with Total Rugby?
Undoubtedly, and I think these individual franchises as well offer us new sort of tent poles, if you like, to promote the game from. I think one of the aims of Total Rugby, whether it's linear or digital, is obviously to focus on the Tier 1 markets, where rugby is very popular, but also start to extend the reach in Tier 2 and Tier 3 markets. Now, whether that's the Russian event that's just been and gone, or the opening up of Asia with what's going on in Japan, I think these are all opportunities to grow the fairly significant base we've already got, and whether it's using Sevens as the battering ram to do that, or World Cups or events in between, then there's so many opportunities to do this. I think what is important, because again we tend to focus on the big events and they bring in a different audience, which is good, but there's a massive story arc that happens between all these big events, and I think that's one thing that Engage do well on behalf of the IRB in terms of capturing all these little things that go and contribute to what is a 4-week event, and involving consumers, active or potential rugby fans in that brings them closer to it, and again gives them a glimpse of the behind the scenes that money can't buy. It's not buying a ticket to go to a game, it's actually the story behind it. And we're seeing across all the clients we work with, whether it's IPL teams in India for cricket or the English FA, the appetite for behind the scenes content, as actually the Lions demonstrated very effectively, is huge right now. And what's exciting is TV is not the only medium you can put this media through. Now, obviously the internet, mobile, gives many opportunities to engage with the fan, especially around short form content, which is a lot of what we do.
And you touched upon sort of telling narratives, telling stories, and you've done a great job at this conference in terms of the content you've produced as also a partner of this. Why have you partnered with this event?
Look, coinciding with the General Assembly, where we have every representative of the IRB coming through the doors, it's been a very useful time for us in terms of getting across what the issues are of all the individual constituent parts of the IRB. So it made sense for us to throw a lot of resource at this as Engage, obviously as a supporter of the IRB and an agency. We are filming the event as well to capture what's going on. But I think the General Assembly members, but also the other partners who've come along to this event, are all connected in some way, shape or form with rugby. They all want to promote the game and be part of future success. I think the future is about partnerships. It's not about everyone going off and doing their own individual things and trying to keep the rent. More value is created by joining all these things up, both for the game of rugby and, importantly, the sponsors as well. So I think as a result of what we're producing here, which, whether it's filming this event or behind the scenes or whatever, is a whole tranche of new content that sits alongside the licensing of live games. And where you've got new content, you've got more eyeballs, you've got potential opportunities for sponsors. And this is not just sponsorship across a tournament. This is sponsorship across, as I say, that whole story arc leading up to the games. So there's a win-win for everyone. You know, the IRB, the sponsors, and importantly the consumer.